So, they like to hide the truth, but somebody has to tell it. Listen, we're coming into a time where you're going to experience a lot of different things that's going on. Um, I want to speak to you about being ready for another pandemic. Um, this is a tough one to talk about. There will be people that die tremendously. Um, Tremendously. Nah, like, nobody really died during COVID. And rest in peace to those some of the people that did. But flu was killing more people than COVID. You understand? Still in that year. Um, you just heard Mark Zuckerberg state that Biden and the administration and those who were lobbyists for certain companies of interest were telling Facebook and different social media platforms to pull down the truths about Corona that went against their agenda. What I want you to understand, this next pandemic, because Trump is in office, this is going to be a direct blow to Trump. This next pandemic, this is so they can stop his agenda and make sure that the American economy and infrastructure falters. Um, because they're tired of waiting on their interest and their payment. They're finna foreclose on American people. So what I want you to understand is this. This next pandemic is truly going to kill. Get ready. We will be in the house for at least 9 to 12 to 18 months. Get ready. By the time you come out the house, robots will be in every establishment. The places that you used to work, you will no longer be able to work at. The resources that you used to run to provide for finance for your family will no longer be there. This pandemic will kill. And I'm not talking about baby kill. I'm talking about hundreds of thousands of people in cities, in each city, major metropolitan America. You're going to see people die by the buttload. It will be maintained. It will be eventually resolved, or but before it is resolved, before it is contained, it will kill hundreds of thousands of people in each major city. There will be millions lost. This pandemic will be very real. The homeless don't stand a chance. This will be a horrible thing. And when this takes place, when this pandemic takes place, what you're going to understand is that China is going to stop shipping to America. Do you understand? Which is going to make inflation rise even more. So I want you to understand something. And we're going to talk about those things later, but I want to stick on the topic. I want to stay on the topic of this pandemic. Because, if you thought Corona was something, right? You ain't seen nothing. And I want you to understand this is only going to take place because those who are truly in control of infrastructures, world infrastructures and organizations and governments and federal reserves, the banking system, those who are in control are ready for certain countries to pay up and fall in line to the initiative and agenda that they have. They created these organizations, they created these governments, they created these institutions, and now they have a different direction for them to go. And no matter if you're used to it or you're complacent, they must move forward with their agenda, their initiative, their itinerary, and they are going to change society as we know it into something else, which they feel is more beneficial for on a world stage, on a world standard when it comes to evolution of a people, of a species. So has nothing to do with you taking pride in loving your flag and loving your country. This is going to happen to a bunch of countries. We're coming to an age of singularity. That means one. So what I want you to understand, they're talking about mega regions, creating mega regions. You go look at the World Economic Forum, you go look at the United Nations, they're speaking on mega regions. You understand? So I want you to understand what stands to take place. You know, and if you even heard Trump saying that if you don't vote for me, you won't have a country, and it's because it's already been sold from up under the American people's feet. They're just waiting for the opportunity to foreclose, send you the foreclosure notice, and tell you that you're gonna have to migrate here, or you're being displaced this way, and that you're gonna have to struggle while this new infrastructure is taking place. And so I want you to understand that when I say this land is going to be occupied by the Chinese, Chinese is just going to be the force to do it. They're not even going to be in control. They're just going to be backed by the elite because they have a bunch of soldiers to come organize the chaos in this territory, in this colony. No different than the Brits came over and were organizing the chaos in the colony, and because there was a new infrastructure being built, the Chinese will be doing the same thing. They just will be a paid war machine, a paid work hand to come and organize the chaos and resolve any issues while new infrastructure and new government is being built and reined in. These things that take place, this pandemic, the government shutdown, China stopping, not shipping to America, China invading through the North Canada, all these things will be steps and cause and effect to make you feel like the chain of events that happen is the reason why you're in a country that's no longer yours. But that's not the case. That's why you hear Trump speaking about taking over Canada, because he knows the elite are trying to bring the fight to our front door. Because they're tired of federal bonds. It's no longer as lucrative or valuable as it is a viable avenue of revenue as it was before in the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, because you have the internet, and you got to understand a lot of these elite, they're manufacturers. They own the minerals, the chemical compositions to produce plastic, the commodities and consumer goods that we buy every day, we purchase every day, and a lot of these things are being bought wholesale by infrastructure such as Amazon and other massive internet online retail giants. So a lot of the money they make is way faster because you have straight to consumer platforms. So they're way more richer than they could ever imagine. And investing in a federal bond and waiting for a 10-year interest or 20-year interest on a Federal Reserve note based off the performance of a society of people that's not working as hard as they used to is no longer a viable avenue of resource revenue. And a change is going to take place. And also, it's because of sustainability and development. But I want to stay on topic. I want you to understand a pandemic is coming, people. So get ready. A pandemic is coming.